What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer, and today I'm doing a video that I've wanted to do for a really long time now. I've just never really gotten around to doing it, and that's just Pendulum decks. I'm going to be doing Pendulum Magician today because Endymion's a whole other beast. They're so different from each other. Some people try to put both of them in the same deck. I'm not a fan of that. Pendulum was actually kind of my first deck that I've ever used, but anyways, we'll get into it here. I'll explain it to you. What you need is Supreme King Darkworm, Pendulum Call, and Duelist Alliance. Lots of different ways to get this into your hand. Most people only run one Darkworm, at least when I first started playing I did. But people actually like having it as discard fodder for Pendulum Call, I suppose. So what you're going to end up doing here is using Pendulum Call to discard the Darkworm. And Pendulum Call adds 2 Pendulum monsters to your hand, which is just absolutely nuts. Magician Pendulum monsters. That'd be crazy if it was the whole archetype. So you're going to add Dragon Pit Magician and Harmonizing Magician. Harmonizing obviously is the best card in the deck. And since you control no monsters, Darkworm can actually special summon itself from the graveyard. That's its only requirement. And you can actually do it every single turn if they clear your board, which is at least something to know it. Anyways, that's going to special summon itself. When it's special summon, it searches a Supreme King Gate 0 from your deck to your hand. So nice pluses already all over the place. You can go ahead and set the scale to Supreme King Gate 0, then activate Duelist Alliance. Duelist Alliance says, if there's a card in your Pendulum zone, add 1 Pendulum monster or Pendulum spell or trap from your deck to your hand. So if you already have this other piece in your hand, you don't have these little kind of just placeholders that I have here, you can actually search one of the spells and traps. It can be an extra disruption during your opponent's turn. But since we don't technically, you can add the double Iris Magician from your deck to your hand. Now you can set your other scale, which is Dragon Pit Magician, which will come up later, besides the fact that Pendulum Summoning. Really what you want to try to do is Pendulum Summon after you summon like Kriston Fibrax, but in this case we didn't have the resources to do it right. If we had an Oath Dragon in our hand, then maybe we would be able to do this. Which I'll show you next one. But anyways, if you guys don't even know what Pendulum Summoning is, and this is kind of your first introduction, you set Pendulum Scale. So they have 2 effects, Pendulum and Monster effects. Most of the Monster effects for Pendulums don't matter all that much. Well, I guess there's lots of exceptions to that. But since I have a Scale 0 and a Scale 8, I can special summon monsters from my hand and face up extra deck because Pendulum monsters don't go to the graveyard. Between levels 1 and 7, so they can't be on the dot, they have to be between those numbers. Meaning I can special summon the level 4s, these are all level 4s anyways. And when Harmonizing Magician is special summoned, it lets you special summon a Magician Pendulum monster from your deck. And you're actually going to summon this Time Gazer Magician. It's a level 3, which will come up later for Synchro Summoning. You can go ahead and convert, like I said, these go to the face-up extra deck instead of the graveyard. Using the Supreme King Darkworm and the Harmonized Magician, go into a Kriston Needlefiber or Holly Fibrax. Holly Fibrax can special summon from the deck a Red Rose Dragon, and this card actually replaces itself when it's used for a Synchro Summon, so it kind of just helps continue your plays, which is what you're going to do. You're using the Red Rose Dragon and the double Iris Magician. You can go into a Meteor Burst. What Meteor Burst allows you to do is special summon this Dragon Pit Magician. Well, it lets you special summon a scale, but it's important that this is a level 8. It's kind of why you searched it in the beginning. So you can go ahead and do that. And like I said, the Red Rose Dragon replaces itself with the White Rose Dragon from the deck. I think it's hand or deck as well, which is really nice. So this is a card. There are no hard bricks in this deck, just inconvenient cards, I suppose. You can overlay these 2 8s and go into an Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon. The effect to negated attack isn't really important, but when it leaves the field, it actually replaces itself with the Vortex Dragon, which is an Omni Negate for Pendulums. You're going to convert the Meteor Burst and the Kriston Needlefiber into a Cross Sheep. Like I said, that's going to replace itself with Vortex. And since the monster was Fusion Summon, that's going to trigger Cross Sheep. So it doesn't have to be a traditional Fusion Summon, just any Fusion Summon monster special summon to its own. And that's going to bring back the Red Rose Dragon. It's a tuner, so again, it's going to help your plays. You can use the Red Rose and the White Rose and use an F.A. Don Draxter, which is Spell and Trap Negation. Now you can convert the Time Gazer and the Cross Shape into a Selene. Selene can bring back anything with, based on the spell counters that you have. You can bring back the Dragon Pit Magician, and you can use those two for an Appaloosa. Not the, most dangerous board in the world, but certainly not bad. An Omni Negate, a Spell Negate, and 2 Monster Negates. And plus you have these 2 wild cards in your hand. You never know what that could have been as well. This combo actually belongs to a channel, so I'll share this one with you. I just didn't have commentary over it, so it was hard for me to understand, especially because I haven't used pendulums in a long time. And the second combo, actually the base of it is another combo, and I'll link that one as well. But I changed it at the end just a little bit. Alright, now on to combo number 2. What you're going to need here is your Oath Dragon, a Supreme King Darkworm, and a Pendulum Call again. Combo is going to start very similarly. But Oath Dragon is the important part. It actually kind of just brings it all together. So you're going to search, once again, Dragon Pit Magician and Harmonizing Magician. Darkworm, because you control the monsters, can special summon from the graveyard and also search the Supreme Gate 0, which is awesome to have a scale 0 in your hand. That's just searchable at any point in time. It's insane. Now you can normal summon the Harmonizing Magician and convert those two into a Kristan Needle Fiber. Needle Fiber from the deck is not going to search the Rose Dragon. It's going to search Tuning Magician. Actually kind of special summon itself a bunch of times. You're going to use this so much. Having a level 1 tuner is always just super cherry. Especially in this deck when you have higher level monsters. The Junk Speeder decks, it's not as useful, but in this one, of course, it's really good. Now you can go ahead and set your scales because you need those spell counters for Selene, so make sure you do this first before you make any of your other plays. And Oath Dragon lets you grab a face-up Pendulum monster back to your hand, which is extremely needed because Harmonizing Magician cannot be Pendulum summoned from the face-up extra deck, so you have to have it in your hand. And that's why this is kind of part of that combo. And there's also, ways to search it, the Oath. All depends on what you have, but this is very basic. So the Needle Fiber and the Tuning Magician can turn into a Selene. Selene effect can bring back the Tuning Magician. Tuning Magician actually burns you a little bit, but really who cares? It's 400 life points. That's not important at all. And you can convert the Selene and the Tuning into a Click Appaloosa. Appaloosa also just gives you a bunch of zones to special summon to, which is really nice. And in this case, you do need another level 4 monster, I guess, in your hand. Either you're going to have it, there's also going to be a ton of cards. This could be a Blue Boy easily to search, the spellbook cards, to draw 2 more cards. Pot of Desires, this could also be. In this case, I just have Duelist Alliance, so that'll search me my other one. Most of the time, you'll have another card in your hand that you need. And now you can Pendulum summon 4, which is insane, right? And like I said, all those zones are great. So you can Pendulum summon the Double Iris Harmonizing, the Supreme King Gate 0, and the Darkworm. And just like always, Harmonizing Magician can special summon a Magician Pendulum from the deck, and that's going to be your Time Gazer Magician. You can go use your 2 rank 4s, which is the Double Iris and the Darkworm, into an Abyss Dweller. I like this combo a lot better. This is just really good against most decks today, right? Now you can convert the Time Gazer and the Harmonizing Magician, and next turn you'll be able to get that this back to your hand and use the effect again to go into another Synchro play, right? Which is really, really nice. That can go into an FA Don Dragster, and that's going to, you can now special summon back the Tuning Magician. If this card is normal special summon, again, you're going to take that damage, but the only reason you can special summon it back is because you have 2 Magician Pendulum monsters, right? Which is really cool. So you've special summoned this thing 3 times already. And now if you can't see the line of play here, it does get banished that last time, but again, you've gotten so much use out of it that you can go into your Synchro 8 plays, and that's a Borreload Savage. Equipping the Selene, so 3 counters on it, plus a decent amount of attack boosts, without a doubt. And so yeah, you have a Spell Negate, and you have an Omni Negate, no graveyard effects, and a couple of monster negates. Really quite good, I believe, for Pendulum monsters. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below of this Pendulum deck. I'll do a deck profile and probably some gameplay soon enough. It's kind of a throwback for me. It'll be fun to play Pendulums again. Yeah, that's going to do it for today's video.